Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. Today, I hope you remembered to be grateful throughout the day. As you can see, this is an eternal task, in which you must create this habit of being grateful for everything. You often wonder why certain feelings have positive connotations and some have negative connotations. So that will be the topic of our teaching today. But before that, let's move on to tomorrow's task. Yes, I will do one more task. It will be as simple as yesterday, nothing you have to worry about. You won't do this all day. I imagine it will be a very pleasant task these days, because it will be done while taking a shower, something you do frequently, due to the intense heat. Alright, so what will be the task? The task is very simple. You put yourself under the shower, and imagine that you are in a waterfall, and that water is totally pure, that water comes directly from Gaia. So she's full of energy, she's full of good fluids. So you will imagine yourself under that water and you will realize that all these good fluids that water, from that waterfall, is bringing, at first, they are sticking to your skin. It is as if a bunch of small balls are aggregating on your body. No, they don't have a specific color, it can be any color, it can be transparent balls, no problem, everyone imagines it the way they want. The important thing is that as time passes, these little balls will burst, and emanate a lot of light, a lot of calm, a lot of love in you. So realize that it is a pleasant task and a very easy task. No, you don't need to spend hours and hours in the shower, it's a quick mentalization, while you rinse yourselves, for example, after your hygiene. Then you will do both things at the same time, you will rinse yourselves and you will be imagining that you are in a waterfall. Don't think this is nonsense, my brothers, because it isn't. This mindset is very strong, and whoever does it with all belief and faith will feel it. I can assure. So, returning to the subject I mentioned, why are some feelings so good and others not so good? What can we say is a good feeling? It's that feeling that brings joy, well-being, happiness. So if the feeling brings this out in you, that is a good feeling, it is a feeling of high vibration, it is a feeling that deserves to be repeated all the time, or otherwise, it is a feeling that must be avoided at all costs. Of course, feelings vary from person to person, in terms of intensity. I can give an example of that person who is very happy after having robbed someone, because he got the energy from the money he needed to carry out his task for the day or to get high. Then many may say, yes, he is happy, and how does that look? The feeling is the same, it really is a feeling of happiness, just with different references. So you have to understand the following: nothing exists in isolation. It is obvious that there is not the same weight, this type of happiness that he feels, with the happiness of someone who did good to another, and felt extremely happy for this action. What is the context? One has a bad context, the other has a benign context. So that feeling of happiness from the first example ends up being lost. He has, let's say, no power to raise the light of that soul, because that was an illicit gesture. He hurt someone, he provoked fear, he provoked terror in someone, he took from someone something that doesn't belong to him, belongs to the other. So how will all these feelings weigh on that happiness? With too much intensity, and they will practically nullify this feeling, because it is a negative happiness, not a positive one. So my brothers, feelings exist, they have their power, but everything has to be in a context. Everything has to be in what made you feel that way. For example, you are angry with someone, and you see that person take a fall, then many say, well done. At that moment it gave you pleasure, it was happiness for you, to see that person fall. So I ask you, in what context did you feel this happiness? In a context of anger, in a context of revenge. Then this won't do you any good. So many don't understand. Ah, I'm a good person, I do good for others all the time, and my life doesn't move forward. So let's go. You really are a charitable person, who is always donating something, who is always donating to help others, and then when you get back to your house, you start to think, will that person do what I donated, anything good with that? Oh, I don't think so, I think she will take what I donated, and sell it to make money, on top of what I donated. How absurd. Well, I gave of myself all day, and no one thanked me. In other words, what did you do with all those beautiful gestures that you practiced for a while? You threw everything away, because you criticized, you judged, you condemned, you complained, you didn't give yourself without expecting anything, you donated yourself thinking that someone was going to put you on a pedestal and give you first place. So my brothers, feelings are not just isolated things. Ah, I'm a happy person, so I attract the light. Correct, but what are your actions like? When you say you are a happy person, what are you happy for? Are you happy because you have more than someone else? Are you happy because you have a car of the year? Are you happy because you humiliate others? No, I'm not saying here that anyone who has a car of the year is wrong, I'm putting it here, in the sense of pride, of showing yourself better than the other, just because you have a car of the year. It's the way things are done. So my brothers, it is not enough for you to think that you are perfect. Ah, I'm a perfect person, I'm good, I love everyone, I do good for others. Okay, you can do all that, but what about in between, where you're not doing that, what do? You continue to emanate good feelings, or you complain about everyone, you point out everyone, you judge everyone, you condemn, you gossip, you intrigue. So all that feeling, which you supposedly say is happy, and that you do good all day long, was consumed, by all those feelings that you propagated, along with them. So my brothers, what do I want you to understand from all this? You are on a scale all day long, all your feelings are weighed during the day. So come on, you were happy, go positive, but you criticized someone, go negative. So what stands out at that moment is what you are emanating, what stands out most in your life is what you emanate. It's not enough to be nice, to be cheerful, to be happy one day of the year, and on the other days to be exactly the opposite. This does not make you a person who emanates light. My brothers, your understanding of who is good and who is evil is a little wrong. Ah, I'm a good person. Why are you a good person? Because he never killed anyone, because he never stole, because he never did anything illegal. From this aspect, yes, you are a good person, but you don't do anything for others, you only criticize, you only judge. Are you still a good person? So realize what you are emanating, you are not emanating light, most certainly not. So always remember what I've said here many times, no one is 100% well, no one is 100% bad. You are the set of feelings that you emanate at all times, now you are laughing, happy, in a little while, you are angry, because something went wrong. So that anger also goes into the balance, not that it was a small and quick moment, it is disregarded. No, it's not, because the great teaching is that you know how to transmute what is bad into love and light. It's my brothers, the journey is not easy, I'm going to finish the catchphrase, I never said it would be. So think hard about what you emanate at every moment. I already told you, I don't want anyone perfect, because you won't be able to be perfect in the third dimension, unless you are at a very high level of elevation, live in a cave, totally isolated from the world, and go into meditation 24 hours a day, so that your ego does not speak at any time. So nobody will be perfect. What you have to do is the best, is to make that scale of positive feelings much heavier than the negative feelings, because they will exist, there's no point in saying no, Problems come up all the time, and you get upset, you get irritated, you fight, you argue, and then you regret it. But that has already gone into the balance. But doesn't regret take away some of the weight of this feeling? It depends on regret. What kind of regret? Did you hurt someone and go there and immediately ask that person for forgiveness? Then we can consider that you didn't put it on any plate, you simply created the feeling, but you consumed it at the same time. But if you carry this feeling, and you keep dwelling on it, and a long time later, you go there and ask for forgiveness, there's no point, the feeling has already gone into overdrive. It's my brothers. So I'm going to talk again here about this feeling that we talk about, comment on so much and ask that you use it for as long as possible, which is gratitude. Each feeling has a weight, they are not all placed on the scale with the same weight. There are those feelings that are heavier, gratitude is one of them. So when you are grateful, but it's like I always say, it's not speaking in a despondent way. I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for that other one. What did you say? You didn't say anything. You just said it. You didn't shout out to the universe that you were grateful, you said something that even I didn't understand. Now when you say, I'm grateful for everything I have, I'm grateful for the life I have, I'm grateful for the lessons I teach. Then you are adding the feeling of joy, and then that feeling of gratitude, which is heavier than the others, goes on the scale on the good side, and it becomes very heavy. So, what you are emanating starts to change a little, you start to emanate more good things, because the weight is more on the positive side. My brothers, when we talk about gratitude, it's not a lip service, it has to be something that comes from within, in which you believe, in which you value what you have. Gratitude for having a plate of food in front of you, while others have to take it out of the trash to eat. Gratitude for having a roof over your head, no matter how simple it may be, while many are on the streets, having nowhere to live. Gratitude for having clothes to wear, even if they are old and leaky, while many suffer from the cold on the street. Having a family, which even if they fight all day, is a family, while many are abandoned, they are alone. So my brothers, give strength to this feeling of gratitude, which he really needs to have. Realize how special you are, because if you have all this, it's because your soul walked towards it. Why do you have everything you have? Because you did where? Because your soul walked this way. You emanated and reaped prosperity and abundance, even those who don't have much, and who still experience difficulties, is part of the journey. So be grateful that you are learning, because it is part of evolution. So my brothers, gratitude is a feeling, I can say, that it is one of the strongest, that you have to put on that scale. The strongest of all, is unconditional love. It is that love that asks for nothing in return, it is the love of giving, total donation, in which you don't even expect a thank you, you just donate yourself, and that's enough for you. No matter who, no matter how, you give yourself. So this is the one that has the most weight. So I want you to stay, and analyze exactly where you place your feelings. It's not the feeling that weighs the scales, it's the feeling in context. It doesn't work in isolation, because it has to be linked to an action. So depending on the action, then yes, it goes one way or the other. Yes, realize that you can have a lot of gratitude for something, but in the context in which you used it, that feeling goes into a negative balance. I'll give you an example. You cry out to the universe, I'm grateful for everything I have. But so and so, hey, he has everything, and I have to work hard to get things. Why does so and so have everything so easy, and I don't? What did your gratitude do? You're welcome, because you weren't grateful. If you were grateful, you wouldn't be talking about so and so, you wouldn't be envying what so and so has. So that's the focus. Because many of you think that you just have to do it, you just have to feel it, no matter the context. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I tell you that no, it is the context that separates feelings, between good and bad, not the evil of doing harm to others. That word, it has the capacity to attract only bad thoughts, through the word itself, so I prefer to call it positive and negative, it's more correct. So that's it, the feeling linked to an action, to a context, determines which side of the scale it goes to, positive or negative, and this, over time, shows what type of soul you are, if you emanate light, and at what intensity you emanate. Because if the scale is practically level, it's as if you are off, you are neither emanating light nor emanating darkness, you are neutral. And what is the objective of a soul, is to emanate more and more light, so that it can be seen in the universe, and receive more of the same, more light. So my brothers, change your perceptions, regarding what is good and bad. Let's change these words a little, let's call them positive and negative. Think about it, and you will have a lot that you will see, that you can change. That's what I get tired of saying, if you don't have anything to say, shut up, if you have nothing to think, sing, because when singing, you fill your mind with the lyrics of the song, with the melody, you don't fill your head with futile things, there's nothing to do, meditate, go for a run, go for a walk, put on some music, and go for a walk, do it for your body, but don't sit around, thinking nonsense, because that's what you do most during the day, or else they have nothing to do and sit in front of the television. Bad choice, because there you will be bombarded with all kinds of thoughts, which will fill your head with nonsense, with a bunch of lies. So feelings emanate, but with reason to do so. You don't need to think, because thought is also a feeling. The feeling is not counted only when it is done, not when it is thought either. Then you find yourself sitting on the couch thinking, wow, so and so has so much stuff and I have nothing. That feeling of envy has already gone to the negative plate, it's already there, there's no point. And you didn't do anything, you didn't even speak, you just thought. So don't think nonsense, think good things, you have nothing to think about, dream, imagine that you are, come on, now is the time for you to imagine that you are on the balcony, sitting, swinging in a hammock drinking juice, listening to the sea waves crash, yes, this is the moment to you think about it. And then feel, how good it is, that feeling of having nothing to do, and standing there swaying in the wind, drinking a cold juice but not thinking about anything, just feel that feeling, that's good, because it brings joy, it brings happiness, and who knows if your desire, if it is so intense, to the point of being fulfilled, to the point that at that moment, you put so much desire of going through that, so much joy, that you created the moment. Ah, you don't think about that, because everything that is thought with feeling, in which you feel as if you were there, and put all that joy, all that feeling out, you run the risk of creating and it becoming reality. Look how wonderful! So let's learn to dream, let's learn to create images, but without expectations. I'm going to stay here, creating a bunch of images, to see if it happens. It's over, nothing will happen, because you've already set a condition to do that. It's over, you broke the spell. Now you sat there, and started thinking, dreaming about a great trip, visiting wonderful places, why not? Take photos of beautiful places. Imagine yourself being there. Then you immediately think, but I don't have the money for that. Done, it's over. You broke the whole spell. I already told you, who has to worry about how, is the universe, not you. You have to dream, you have to create. So look at that place. Wow, it would be wonderful to be there, looking at that up close, but put feeling, put love, put joy. Imagine as if it had already happened, and who knows, you might be able to see or create it, and very soon, you will receive a surprise, a trip as a gift. Why not? Why not? My brothers, I already said it here, you create your own realities. If you believe, you can do it, if you doubt, nothing happens. So put your feelings within a context, because then this context of dreaming goes towards that positive balance. Because you are being happy there, but in a real context of happiness. And then think that by taking a trip, you will make the energy of money circulate, because many will receive what you spend, and you are doing good for the whole. Do you understand how simple it is to do this for the whole? It is not complex, nor complicated. Doing for the whole is making the energy circulate, the energy of money, the energy of love, the energy of joy, because when you are there happy, you will be contaminating that place with your joy, and it will contaminate the whole. That's it, my brothers, stop and think. But think hard about it. I am Archangel Michael. I am here ready, always ready, to help you in these moments. Call me. No, don't imagine, I'm not going to call Archangel Michael out of nonsense. This is not nonsense. Simply ask, my Archangel, help me dream big, help me create a scene that brings me happiness and joy, and that is good for the all. Oh, be ready to see what I'm going to send you. Take the test and then you will tell me.